And we're live. Welcome back for another deadline stream, everyone. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else than here right now. Welcome to the stream. How are we all doing? Where are you all tuned in from on this Saturday morning? Or maybe afternoon or evening where you are. I saw a few Australians in the chat already, so shout out to the Australians. There's a few people from India where it's afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Let us know where you're tuned in from. As always, tag me in a photo of your stream setup and I'll retweet it. FPL is back. How are we doing this morning? Good to be back. International breaks always feel like a long time, longer than they actually are. It's only been 2 weeks since the last deadline stream, but yeah, it feels like a long time. Our Ridge is tuning in from Chicago, India, Nepal, Malaysia, Taiwan, Jamaica, India, Zambia, Taiwan. Shout out to India, by the way. We did a video on the current world number one, who's from India. He still hasn't used any chips this season, which is pretty crazy. And he hasn't owned Trippier all season, the current world number one. And he hasn't owned Watkins, I believe. So, yeah, fair play to all the Indian managers. He's smashing it. Morning, Samir. Morning to John Hamilton, Kappa, that TPS player. Marco, Ryan, Cheekster in the chat. Domus, James. Welcome to all of you. We're happy to have FPL back. It's about to get busy, guys. We've got 8 deadlines in the next 42 days. How many is that per day on average? 42 by 8. Every 5.2 days, there's an FPL deadline for the next 42 days. Where's Teddy? Teddy's asleep still. He's not a morning person. He normally gets up about 11. I kid you not. He normally wakes up about 11 AM, so he gets up like when I finish my streams. But yeah, he's around. There he is. That doesn't look right. He's under the ticker. But yeah, he's around this morning, so yeah, I don't know if we'll see him. He doesn't like coming when I'm on mic anymore. He used to love being up and around when I was recording videos and so on, but nowadays he doesn't like it when I'm on the mic. So yeah, he's a casual anyway. I taught him a new trick last night. I taught him play dead. I go like this, I go bang, and then he like flops over. I couldn't believe how quickly he learned it. It took about half an hour. I'll have to see if he remembers it today though. He's a Chihuahua. He's a Chihuahua, Jay. So, loads prepared for this stream. Loads to talk through. We'll do the news roundup of all the key stuff from yesterday's press conferences. We'll do the old Kings of the Game Week game. We'll have a look at the scout selection, clean sheet odds, goal score odds, projected points. We've got the FPL mini game where you have to name the player. We'll look at the most transfer players and loads more. So, welcome to the stream, all of you. Hope your team's in decent shape, not too many flags. How many? Yeah, let's do a poll on flags. How many flags have you got? I've got the 2, but I think both of them will start in Cash and Haaland. 1 to 2, 3 to 4. No one's got 5+, surely. I guess on your bench you might have some. There we go, there's a flag poll. Yeah, we've had a few flags coming back for the international break. I know a lot of you have got Bowen, Mitoma, so we'll talk about them in the news roundup. Morning Taz, are you? Welcome to the stream. Flandy sold Cash at only 1, so I'm guessing that's Haaland. I think you've got Haaland, don't you, Flandy? Yeah, you've got Haaland. S-Bam's got 3, including Kabore. Oh yeah, I've got 3, sorry, yeah. I mean, I guess I don't count Kabore because I'm not starting him, but yeah, I think he's only out for a week. What's his return like? I mean, if you've got someone like Kabore and you don't have to start him, he's not an urgent sell. I know some of you do have. I saw just before we went live, someone was asking about Kabore. It depends if you have to start him this week. If you have to start him, then obviously sell him because he's not going to play. Is Ola Aina good? I think if I was going for a Forest defender, I'd get Toffolo. He's got an awesome cross in him. He got a couple of assists a couple of games ago. So I think he'd be my pick. He's fine though, but I think Toffolo would probably be the one. And I think he's 4.4 mil. 8 Nori's a good cheap defender as well. He is on 4 yellows. Talked about him in a video this week. He's on 4 yellows, but he plays out of position left mid. So he's got an attacking return in him. He's got Fulham this week. I think he's got 2 reasonable fixtures when Cash has got City and Arsenal as well. So yeah, he's an interesting one. But yeah, it's an awkward week this week, isn't it? Because a lot of us have got players like Cash that we're thinking about selling, but there's not really any obvious replacements. Saliba's probably the standout, but then beyond that, it's like, who do you really go for? You know, people were looking at Wolves defenders, like we said, Forest defenders, Castagna. I don't know if he's here, he normally tunes in, but Hindu Monkey, he tagged me in a tweet yesterday and he said, if FPL Focal follows me, I'll captain Eze and I'll donate £100 to charity if Mbumo blanks. So obviously in the name of charity, followed him. So that's a big one for him this weekend. He's on captain Eze. And if Mbumo blanks, he's going to donate 100 quid to charity. Morning Marcus, how we doing mate? Welcome to the stream. Morning David. He says, hi there Focal, love the content man. Thank you very much, appreciate that. Yeah, there's been good comments on the videos this week. So thank you for that if you've left a comment. That subscribe looked a bit off. Where should we put that? Let's move that over there. So I'm not in the way. Perfect. So yeah, get all your questions in. I'll answer as many as possible. We've got lots of time till the deadline, so you know, stick the kettle on. What's everyone drinking this morning? I'm on the FPL Focal mug, the former #1 in the world mug from FPL merch. I've got a cup of tea with 2 tea bags in. So, Islam Ahmed says, Captain Chris Wood. I wouldn't go as far as captaining him, but I would say Chris Wood, out of nowhere, has become an awesome FPL option for us. In case you missed it, Awani's injured for 3 to 4 months. He's getting groin surgery. So suddenly it looks like Wood is pretty much nailed for Forest. He's only 4.9 mil. He's only got 3 goals this season, but he has been like benched quite a bit. But I'd say he's well worth the money over Archer. What's Archer? He's gone up to 4.6. So for an extra 0.3 mil, you've got a striker who plays for a better team, a better striker. He'll definitely outdo Archer for output, I would say. And he's a pretty long-term hold. Plus, Wood's got Bournemouth home in blank Gameweek 18. So that's perfect when we've got players like Haaland and Mbumo. Maybe you've got Foden or Alvarez that don't play that week. It's pretty much a perfect fixture for Wood. You can just play him home to Bournemouth. A super chat from Mohit. He says he's got Cash, Bowen, Longstaff and Haaland all flagged. Got 2 free transfers and 0.9 mil in the bank. What should I do? So I'll give my verdict on Bowen and Mitoma. They're both flagged. Mitoma has been ruled out. We'll cover it in the news roundup in a second. So Mitoma's a sell. Obviously you don't have him. Bowen on the other hand has a chance of making the game. And he's got good fixtures for the next 5, even if he misses this week. So I'm not so sure Bowen's a sell. Obviously it depends on your bench and who you've got to play. You know, if you have to play someone like Archer for 1 week, I think that's fine. So I think Bowen's a don't buy, don't sell, if you see what I mean. So in your case, I would sell Cash for Saliba if you haven't got him. I don't know if you've got Saliba Mohit, but that's where I would go with the 2 free transfers. I don't think Bowen's a sell. But it does depend on if you've got Saliba or not. Absolutely asks, is Cash a sell? I don't think he's necessarily a sell. He's come super close to attacking returns the last few weeks. Obviously he has been disappointing. He's averaging like 2.2 points per week over the last 5 or so game weeks. So that is disappointing. Obviously he's got Spurs, he'd probably do score. But as I said earlier in the stream, there's not a lot of defenders to go to this week. I'd say Saliba's the standout. Gabriel's okay, but I think we're all wondering if Gabriel starts all games. Like he played on, I think it was Wednesday night against Argentina. He probably does start against Brentford, I would imagine. But yeah, the question, does he start all games after that? I guess if you're a Gabriel owner, the ideal scenario is he starts this week. He's benched midweek when Arsenal have got Lens in the... Is it Lens or Lens? I don't know how you say it. In the Champions League. And then Kyrgios starts that one. And then he's back Game Week 14 onwards and starting every game. But yeah, beyond that. Has anyone made a defender transfer this week? If you did, let us know in the chat who your defender transfer was. Amar, thanks for becoming an FPL Focal member. Thank you for the support, Amar. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Yeah, shout out to all the members. I mentioned it for the first time on a video yesterday. I always forget to mention it, but if you do want to support the channel further than just watching, which is perfectly fine as well, you can become a member with the join button below. or you can use the links in the description to become a patron. It's like a couple of quid. It supports the channel. You get a badge by your name in the stream and comments, early access to videos, the members Discord channel, and the members mini league. So you get a few perks as well. So the question earlier was, how many flags do you have in your team? 9% have got none, so that's pretty low. 43% have got 1 to 2 flags, and also 43% have got 3 to 4 flags. 5% have got 5 or more flags. Samit asked if Tsimikas starts. So we don't know the lineup right now. The good news is that Man City versus Liverpool is the first game of the game week. So there's a pretty fair chance that we get some team news, probably a leak from maybe both teams. So that's something to stick around for. Probably come later in the stream, closer to the deadline. My opinion, it's really hard to call if he starts, because on the one hand, I wonder if Klopp's going to just go for it. Because Tsimikas offers so much more attacking, whereas Gomez, obviously, he's a right foot defender. So on the left hand side, as you saw against Luton, he doesn't offer much going forward. So I wonder if Klopp's just going to go toe to toe and start Tsimikas. But yeah, there is that problem that Tsimikas isn't nearly as good defensively. Difficult one to call that. If I had to guess, I'd say probably starts. But yeah, it seems pretty 50-50. We know that Gomez is available, so he's an option again for Klopp, whereas he wasn't before the break. Quite a few questions on Bowen and some other players. So let's do the news roundup, and we'll talk about everything from yesterday's presses, because there's actually loads this week. So here's a summary of everything you need to know from yesterday's press conferences. Starting with Luton, as I mentioned just now, Kabore is going to miss Game Week 13. He picked up a head injury on international duty, so no Kabore this week. Liverpool news. Klopp gave nothing away on whether his South American players are ready to start. Jones, Konate, Gomez, as I said, and Gravenberch have all returned to training. Robertson, Thiago and Bezezic are all out still. I still think Nunez probably starts this one. But yeah, what this is in reference to is that the South American players have played midweek in South America, obviously, and they've travelled a lot further than some other players have for their respective countries, such as Europe. But yeah, I reckon Nunez starts. Brighton news, Mitoma is out for Game Week 13. No Mitoma this game week. Along with James Milner, according to the Zerbi. Dunk is available though. Estupiñán's out for a long time. Lamptey's fit, but probably not for 90 minutes. So yeah, no Estupiñán for a while. No Mitoma. I'm actually looking at bringing in Palmer for Gordon in Game Week 14. So that could be a good thing in the sense that Estupiñán's out. Maybe Palmer will get some fortune down that side. Man United news. Anana was flagged, but he's fit to face Everton on Sunday. Højlund's going to undergo a late fitness test, so we don't know if we're going to see Højlund or not. Luke Shaw's available and will be in the squad. So not sure if he starts or not, but Shaw is back. We haven't seen Shaw since game week 2, I think. So that's good news. Johnny Evans is nearing a return, but won't be ready to play Game Week 13. So I guess we'll see Maguire and Varane, or Maguire Lindelof. There's rumours going around that Ten Hag's fallen out with Varane, so maybe it'll be Lindelof and Maguire centre back. So the Bowen update. Moyes hopes that Bowen will be available to face Burnley. However, a final decision will be made tomorrow. So this is today now. Antonio is set to be sidelined for a couple of weeks with a knee injury. So yeah, not a clear answer from Moyes in terms of whether Bowen's available. Really difficult to know. Ex-West Ham United employees are West Ham in the know. And he said yesterday that Bowen hadn't trained yet. So it's going to go down to the wire, this one. But as I said earlier, I think that he's a don't buy, don't sell, personally, because he's got great fixtures even after this week, if he doesn't play. So Pep on Haaland. He trained yesterday with some niggles, but today we have the last training and hopefully he can be part of it. So absolutely useless from Pep, as always. Oh, Mark Summers in the chat. He says, morning Oscar, happy Black Box Derby day on the way to Nottingham. Have a good day, Mark. Enjoy the game. We were just talking about Nottingham Forest. Sunday everyone's talking about Forest, like Toffolo, Wood. I think there's some good options there this week. Certainly Wood. So, yeah, Pep, as usual, pretty coy on Haaland. But let's be honest, Haaland's going to start. And he did tweet this yesterday saying, see you tomorrow. So, I don't think there's any concerns about Haaland starting this one. Couple more updates and then that's the news roundup done. Chelsea news. Colwell's fit and available after withdrawing from international duty. And Nkunku's still out, so is Lavia, but both players are doing bits of training. Fofana's back on the grass with a return this season not ruled out. So, Colwell's back, that's good news. I'm looking at him as maybe a transfer for cash in Gameweek 14 rather than this week. Or Gameweek 15 rather. But yeah, Nkunku not back yet. And lastly, Tottenham. Udogi's fine and available to start despite pulling out of international duty. Sarr's going to be assessed over the next couple of days after returning with an issue. Yves Bissouma is suspended for Gameweek 13. And that is the news roundup. Loads this week. So there we go. I think that was a super chat while I was rambling. Craig says double Newcastle defence or start Tsimikas. I would start the double Newcastle defence. If you can help it, I would avoid starting Tsimikas. We don't know for sure he even starts. And on top of that, you know, what are the odds that he keeps a clean sheet? I think you're likely to get an attacking return than a clean sheet from him. Right, I need to catch my breath. Thank you for the super chat, Craig. But yeah, I'd start the double Newcastle defence. John says, how much is an fplfocal mug? You know what? I've been thinking about doing merch. Like, stuff like a mug, or I bought loads of t-shirts like a year or so ago, and I never got around to like doing anything with it. But obviously the thing I like about the Focal logo is you can't tell it's FPL, so it works perfect on a shirt. I wonder if I can find it. Let me just quickly look in the cupboard. And jumpers. I don't know, would you ever buy one of these? Or not? Like, you can't tell it's FPL, it just looks like a regular... It just looks like a regular jumper. So, I bought loads of them like a year or so ago and I never got around to doing anything with it. Because I don't know if that's like a bit of a sellout thing to do or whether like people would actually buy them. Because they're like actually really nice t-shirts and jumpers. But yeah, they're just sitting in the cupboard. I wear them once in a while, but they're actually really nice. Like, I wear them around. I wear them when I go out. And as I say, no one knows it's like fantasy football. It's not like you're wearing a shirt or a jumper with like Lundstrom on it or something. You know, or like a shirt that says I play FPL. It's just like the Focal logo, so it's pretty like minimalist. So, I don't know, if people are interested. Hitman says it's actually nice. Jake said he'd buy one. Smithy says I'd buy that for $1. Oh no, they're more than $1. They're not loads though, they're like... I think they're only like £15 for the t-shirt. I can't remember how much the jumper was. So I've got like 4 or 5 of them in my cupboard. Yeah. Anton says I'd buy a t-shirt. John wants fplfocal underwear. I don't know about underwear. Maybe not underwear. I don't know. I've been thinking about it. No, 15, not 150. Oh yeah, I'll turn the music down, sorry. Is that better? So yeah, maybe fplfocal merch coming soon.
Nice.
Nice. Bowen news. If anyone's just tuned in, then we just did a news roundup, so rewind to catch that. Bowen is going to be a late fitness test, basically, to summarise. Oh, Robocop reference, okay. Focal lingerie. Maybe. I'll have to get my girlfriend some Focal lingerie. That's winning at life, isn't it? If I was to buy her Focal lingerie and she wore it. You know what, actually, she has worn a Focal jumper before. That was a proud moment. Gordon or Palmer? If it's who to start this week, I'd say Gordon. If it's who to buy, I think Palmer makes more sense longer term. I'm looking at bringing Palmer in. I'll walk you through what I'm thinking about doing. So this week I'm thinking about rolling. And then game week 14, I'm looking at doing this. So I'm thinking about going Gordon to Palmer. And with the second free transfer, Diaby to Bumo. Is it Mbumo or just Bumo? Because I had a comment yesterday saying, didn't you know it's not pronounced Mbumo, but they didn't tell me how it's pronounced. I always thought it was Mbumo, or is the M silent? Anyway, Bumo and Palmer. I'm thinking about those two moves in Game Week 14. And then it feels like my front seven is pretty much set after that. I don't know if I could see myself making any transfers in my midfield or attack. Maybe Archer, but I'd say that's a good thing because I need to like focus on blank Game Week 18 really. So I don't want to be shuffling the midfield or attack really. So yeah, I actually would see that as a good thing if those 7 positions are locked in. I'm just not sure what I'd do after that. I'd have 0.3 mil, but I think Palmer might be rising before the Game Week 14 deadline. Maybe I'd downgrade Cash or sell Kabore. I wouldn't mind getting Wood for Archer if I can find the money for that. I'm 0.1 short, annoyingly. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So, Johnny Roke, thanks for the super chat. He says, morning, Oscar. Keep Douglas Luiz or transfer for Eze or Palmer. I'd buy a t-shirt, by the way. Alright, you guys have convinced me. I'm going to have to get back on it. I've literally got like a store set up and everything, but I just didn't have the bottle to hit publish. Because, yeah, I wasn't sure if it's a bit of a sellout thing to do. But, yeah, they are genuinely nice t-shirts and jumpers, so maybe I will go for it. Anyway. Yeah, I think Douglas Luiz, I would sell him. Eze or Palmer. I think this probably depends on how the rest of your team looks. If it's in good shape, I think Eze is really good for the next 3 game weeks. And then you might want to sell him for Palmer in game week 16. So, depending on how the rest of your team looks, Johnny, because ideally you want to sell Eze for Palmer once Chelsea's fixtures turn. So, it's kind of like a nice 3-week pump, maybe longer. So, if your team's in, reasonable shape and you haven't got other fires to put out, like other flag players or players on your bench that aren't even playing, then I'd go Eze. Otherwise, just go Palmer. You're ahead of the curve. He still stands a chance of getting returns. So I would base the decision on that. Oh, good point. Perfect Christmas present. Maybe I'll have to get it going before Christmas. Focal socks. Right, we've got 1,500 tuned in, so welcome to the stream, everyone. If you are enjoying the stream so far, then hit like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do deadline streams every game week, and I make FPL videos during the week, as you probably know. So if you subscribe, then you get all the content in your feed as soon as it drops. Clean sheet odds. Yeah, let me just end that poll. Clean sheet odds this week. I mean, this goes to show the point we're making on defenders, how hard it is this week to predict where the clean sheets come from. Like Arsenal are away to Brentford and they're top of the clean sheet odds. 37.5% chance. And then it's Palace away to Luton. Fulham 34% chance. They've got Wolves, I think. Man City 34% chance. Again, I don't see it. I don't see City keeping a clean sheet. Then West Ham, Bournemouth, Liverpool rock bottom, but 13.5% chance. We normally have 1 or 2 teams in single digits, but yeah, it's an awkward game week. Flanny's on the double Arsenal defence. Yeah, looking good this week if you've got the Saliba and Gabriel pair. Mbuemo. No, it's not Mbuemo, is it? Bumo. I actually forgot to check what you guys said on that. Was it Bumo? Let me scroll up. The M is silent. Mbuemo. It's not Mbuemo. Mbuemo. No, it's not. So it's just Bumo. Burmo. Burmo. Bumo. I want to believe John. I think John's less likely to wind me up. It's Bumo. Alright, Bumo. I mean, it's easy to say as well. Right. Guesses in the chat. Lots of you got it last game week. It was a pretty boring one in the end. We're looking for the king of game week 13. It was Salah before the break back in game week 12. He actually scored the same as Haaland, but when there's a tie, it goes to the lowest scoring player. Guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer of game week 13? It is Bumo. Perfect. Okay, now I know. The Premier League put a good video on Instagram about how to pronounce the player names. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to look that up. I think I saw that. There was like Soboslai. I don't know why Bruno Fernandes was in it. can't remember who else was in it. So, Pedro Porro, Bowen, Maddison, Bumo, Archer, Callum reckons Maguire. Mate, if it's Maguire, Soboslai, Martinelli, Adingra. Oh, George with the Solanke shout. Yeah, Solanke's a good shout. Anyone bringing in Solanke? Bruno, Eze, Bruno Fernandes. Oh, is that why? I always call him Fernandez. Okay, so that's why he's in the video. Because I'm saying it wrong. Mikalenko, Brennan, Anderson, Edouard, Saka. Those who can't play sports is on Eze captain. Fair play. Yeah, I mentioned earlier that Hindu Monkey, he's probably watching right now. He tagged me in a tweet and he said, if fplfocal follows me, I'll captain Eze and I'll donate £100 to charity if Bumo blanks. I almost got it wrong again. So I followed him. So big charity bet on this week. 100 quid to charity if Bumo blanks. And he's on captain Eze as well. Simicast, surely not Simicast. Diaby. Kudus. Kudus is a good shout. Like with Antonio injured for a few weeks, then he's going to be nailed. Good differential. I think he's about 6.5 mil. Don't know if I'd get him over Eze though, but I think he's a good punt, given the fixtures. Alvarez, interesting. Chris Wood. Imagine if it's Chris Wood. He'd be 5.5 mil by Gameweek 14. I wouldn't mind if it's Maguire. A few Maguire shouts. I'm actually starting him this week. Wouldn't mind Maguire. That TPS player, I'll donate £1,000 to charity if you captain Archer for this game week, Oscar. I don't believe you. I don't know if I could do that. Should I captain Archer? So £1,000 goes to charity. The thing is, if I captain Archer, this is going to be me next game week. That's how I'll look on the Game Week 14 deadline stream if I captain Archer. Bowen is not confirmed out. He's not now. It's going to be a late fitness test. Exterminate says, I'm actually considering captaining Palmer. Opinions. I don't know if I would captain Palmer. I think there's a lot of better options this week. I think Haaland's better, Son's better, Salah's better, probably even Watkins. I don't know if I'd captain Palmer. Should I? But I'm not even starting Archer. That's the problem. I'd have to go like this. Like that. Haaland Vice. That TPS player is sweating now. Like, do I actually have £1,000 I could donate to charity? Matoma's red flagged. Yeah, Matoma's out for this game week. De Zerbi said in yesterday's press conference that Matoma's out. It was, yeah, earlier in the week there was a video of him training with the squad, or at least running out with the squad. So he's been involved, but De Zerbi clarified that he has been with the squad involved, but he's not available. So Matoma's out for this game week. Onella says, what will you do when De Bruyne's back? I think it's pretty straightforward. When De Bruyne's back, Alvarez's appeal goes down, basically. John says, Oscar, captain poll, please. Let's do, who would the top 3 options be? Who is your captain for game week 13? So we've got Haaland, Salah. Would it be Haaland, Salah, and Son? And other? I can only put 4 options here. So if you vote for other, message in chat who's your other. Morning, Ben. Stales on Watkins captain. You know what? I look at that fixture and I do think there's going to be a fair few goals in that one. So it could be a good fixture for Watkins. And likewise, Diaby, Son. Yeah, I think that could be a really good watch. When's that game? Is it today or tomorrow? Tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, I think that could be a great game. I'm not hopeful of a Cash clean sheet at all, but yeah, I think probably likely to get an attacking return from Cash than a clean sheet. So yeah, as I mentioned in the stream title, we've got Man City versus Liverpool, first game of the game week. So if we get any early team news or anything like that, then I'll let you guys know what the lineup news is. There's bound to be some leaks as we near the deadline. Johan's on Captain Maguire, Mike's on Eze, Rohan's on Saka or Eze, George is on Solanke, Brandon and Razvan are on Captain Saka, so is Wilkie, so is Mudge. A lot of Saka captainers, interesting. I hadn't considered him at all for captaincy, if I'm honest. Darwin captain. I don't know about that one. I mean, he's not guaranteed to start. I think he does start, but I don't know if I'd be captaining Darwin myself. But yeah, get your votes on the captain poll in the chat on the sidebar. I'll check back on the results in a minute. Oh yeah, let me change my team back before I accidentally actually captain Archer. That would be bad. Did you guys see Az in game week 12? He accidentally bench boosted. I don't know how someone does that by accident. I still don't understand how that happened. He accidentally bench. Was it game week 12? It was when, yeah, game week 12. Like, he posted his team on Twitter and then he came back and like had the bench boost active and everyone was like, "Are you bench boosting?" And his bench was like Turner, Simicast, Archer or something like that, and obviously like Simicast got the 15 pointer, so it actually worked out for him on the accidental bench boost. Mohammed says, your thoughts on Wood since Awani's out? Yeah, we talked about Wood at the start of the stream, and he's a great pick now. 4.9 mil. I'd say he's a way better option than Archer for 0.3 mil more. Yeah, I think he's a great option. His output's going to be better than Archer. He should be nailed. Like, maybe there's an outside chance Origi gets a game in striker, or maybe a Elanga, but he's going to be pretty much nailed. Tends to play the 90 when he starts. I think he's a great option for 4.9 mil. And on top of that, in game week 18, when City and Brentford blank, he's got Bournemouth home. So that's perfect. He's cheap enough to bench every week, but you can start him in game week 18, when a lot of us are going to have Haaland, Bumo, maybe others not available for that blank. In fact, I've got another poll idea on blank game week 18 in a sec for you guys. Andrea says, would you make any team changes from the wildcard video 10 days ago, or are your thoughts still the same? I think I had Bowen in that and not Son, but now I would go the other way around. I would have Son and not Bowen. I forget the whole team now. I think I'd have Son now. It might be difficult to afford that though, but I would, yeah. I'd have Son over Bowen now. I can't remember the rest of the midfield. It was Salah, Saka. So I think if I was on the wildcard, the midfield now would be Salah, Son, Saka, Bumo, Palmer, which is actually where I'm aiming to be by game week 14. So that's good, I guess. Yeah, that's the midfield I'd have. I think it was Watkins and Haaland up top. Oh, that's another thing I'd change. I'd have Wood over Archer. I think I'd Archer. I'd have Wood now, 100%. Simply Luke in the chat says, who would you bench out of Bumo, Palmer and Gordon? Oh, that's an awful one. I think Palmer. I think I'd bench Palmer out of those three. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. I mean, Bumo, he can return in any game week because of the set piece and penalties. Gordon, he's got the home fixture. Isak and Alma on the back. So I think it'd be Palmer. Amar says, hi Focal, would you consider Captain Salah, 7 goals and 3 assists in his last 9 against City? Yeah, I think he's fine. I haven't considered him myself. I've been pretty set on Haaland captain. I did have Salah vice, but I ended up switching it to Son. I do think that Villa game is going to be set up for lots of goals. So it's probably going to be goalless now in typical FPL fashion. But yeah, for me, I'd say Salah's probably third best after those two. So I think he's fine. It's as I said in videos this week, historically it's a fixture of lots of goals. The last 10 meetings between Man City and Liverpool, there's been 2 clean sheets in total for either side. So that's 20 opportunities for a clean sheet. There's been 2, and an average of 3.6 goals per game their last 10 meetings. So I think there's going to be lots of goals in that one. So Salah's a good captain, yeah. FCA Sean, hope your girlfriend isn't watching you talking about Wood this early in the day, Oscar. Hopefully not. I don't know if she watches my streams. I messaged her saying I'm about to go live, but I can't remember what transfer she made this week. I think she brought Colwell in for cash. Is Bowen out? It's going to be a late fitness test on Bowen, is what Moyes said, so we don't know basically. I don't know if we'll get any news on him before the deadline. We'll keep an eye out. I'll keep refreshing in case of any leaks or anything like that, but I'm not sure if we will get anything on that. On Bowen. It's going to be a late fitness test. I think he's don't sell, don't buy, basically. Archer over Alvarez. I think I'd rather start Alvarez still. Personally. So Captain Poll. 49% Captain Haaland. 22% Captain Salah. 18% Son. And 11% other. Interesting. A lot of others this week. Guess it's a good week for a punt if you feel like taking a captain punt. Johnny says Saka's due return. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Saka haul. He's been ticking along, but he's not really hauling. His last haul, game week 6 against Spurs, and then before that it was game week 1. 9-pointer against Bournemouth. Thomas says, Oscar, any plans for Christmas? I'll probably just do the usual. I'll go around the families, open presents, have a Christmas dinner there. And then my extended family, like cousins and that, will probably go to theirs before or after Christmas for a meal. That's what we tend to do every year. Don't know about New Year's though. What do you guys do for New Year's nowadays? Do you go out and party or do you stay in? Last year I stayed in, but I don't mind a night out still. Once in a while. Speaking of, I think there's an FPL meetup in Nottingham. Is it next weekend or the one after? Let me check my calendar. Oh. Yeah, next Saturday. I'm going to aim to be there. Next Saturday there's an FPL meetup in Nottingham. So I'm hoping to go to that. John's staying in. Carwin's staying in. Welcome, Will Mash. Tune in from Kenya. Mikey's out for a meal, and then Jules. Good old Jules Holland. Fabian says, what rank do you have to be to go for a different captain? I don't think you should go for a different captain just for the sake of it. But when there's a week where 2 players are close, and one's much lower owned, then I think it's fine. For example, let's say you think Haaland and Son are really close. Then logic says go for Son because he's the differential captain compared to Haaland anyway. Have you dyed your hair? No, I haven't dyed my hair. Can I confirm I haven't dyed my hair? I think I'm slowly losing it anyway, so I think dyeing it would kill it completely. Is Cash starting? Yeah, Cash is in training. He's fine. I'm fully expecting Cash to start. I think it might actually be an unchanged Villa lineup. So Tielemans probably keeps his spot. So then no Zaniolo and no Bailey. They'll probably both be on the bench. So good news for Diaby in the sense that he starts. I think that was pretty predictable. But it does mean that's 2 options that Emery's got to bring Diaby off for. And I think that's what we saw last match. Diaby was off at 61 minutes. He did get that jammy assist. I don't know if any of you saw the game, but I didn't see the touch at all. But he got the assist. So we can't complain. Yeah, exactly that, Adam. He says Ollie Watkins against the high line of Dyer and Davies, captain choice. I think that game's got lots of goals. And you can say the same about Son against Villa's High Line. Last time they played each other, Villa caught Spurs offside 9 times. And Son was caught offside 4 times. So he's got to get those runs right, but there's definitely goals in that if you can time his runs. How old are you, Focal? I actually just had my birthday the weekend before last. How old do you think I am? Guess in the chat. And be nice. Welcome to the stream, Axel. 32, 23, 45. A few guesses in the 20s. I'm not in my 20s actually. Most of you are pretty close. I just turned 32. Can you believe? I can't believe it. Evan says, who's the better pick, Guay or Mitchell for this week and Game Week 15? They're basically the same, to be honest with you. I'm not sure who costs more. I'll just go for the cheaper one, if there is a cheaper one. Probably Guay. I think he's cheaper. 4.6, I think. Mitchell might be 4.7. I can't believe Charlie Taylor is younger than Oscar. Is he? I can believe it. Do you think he looks older than me? Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Alex Volo. He's probably tuned in. He tweeted this week. He face swapped me onto Palmer. Oh, what's that? Why is Vince there? What the hell just happened? Yeah, do you think I look like Palmer? Do you think I look like Palmer or not? I don't see it. Let's do a poll then. Do I look like Palmer? Just a bit. A little. Twins? That is horrifying. Yeah, I think the eyes messed up there. Don't know what's going on with the eyes. Charlie Taylor. Okay. Yeah, sorry for the, I don't know why Vince McMahon came up. We're all over the place this morning. John says spit an image. Moonlighting as a YouTuber. What's moonlighting? Define moonlighting. Have a second job or typically secretly at night in addition to one's regular employment. Oh, I see. I can confirm I'm not Palmer. I am not Palmer. 62% say I look like him. 38% say I don't. Jacob, thanks for the super chat. He did Douglas Luiz to Palmer this week. Likely to do Cash to Walker or Gueye next week. And Bowen to Mbeumo if bad news for Bowen. Thoughts on all? I think there could be someone better than Gueye by next week because he's got, I think he's got 1.5 alright fixtures next week. So Palace have got West Ham away next week. I don't think they keep a clean sheet there. Game week 15 is fine, Bournemouth home. But then game week 16 and 17 they've got Liverpool and Man City. So I think someone like maybe Colwell could be better by next week. Maybe Gabriel if you haven't got him and you can afford him. I think you could do better. Maybe Toffolo, Nottingham Forest. They're home to Everton, then Fulham away, then Wolves away. And in blank game week 18, they're home to Bournemouth. I think the boat might have sailed by next week. Douglas Luiz to Palmer, that's fine. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, maybe Walker. I'm considering Walker or Vardiol. I think Bowen's going to be absolutely fine by next week, though. I mean, he could play this week. It's going to be a late fitness test, is what Moyes said. So that leads me to believe that he'll be absolutely fine for Game Week 14. So then I think he's a don't buy, don't sell this week. Austin says, morning, Oscar. Thank Fook, the international break is over. I fully agree with that. It's good to have FPL back. Leanne says you do now. Arteta's son? What? I don't look like Arteta. Bowen. Ah, I've been told it like Bamford. Right, I've got a game for you guys. I've got one of the biggest FPL scores of all time. You've got to name the player that got this score. So I want the player that got this score. And bonus points if you can guess the season that this score was scored. So it's 27 points. Who got the score? And can you guess the season they got that score? Guess this in the chat. Loads of questions on Bowen. So if I had him, I would start him. I think he either plays or doesn't at all. I would start him. I wouldn't sell him. It's going to be a late fitness test. Late fitness test is all we know on Bowen. Yaya Toure, Sami Nasri, Aguero, Mahrez, Cancelo, 2021, De Bruyne 22-23, David Silva, 2020, Sterling. I love this one because I actually owned this player. This is probably one of the best transfers I've ever made. This was, drumroll, John Stones, and this was the 2021 season, and it was double game week 19, and I think he was only 4.9 mil, maybe 5 mil, and I transferred him in that week thinking maybe he gets a clean sheet max across both games, and in the first game against Crystal Palace he scored a brace, and in the second game he kept a clean sheet as well. So it's 2 clean sheets, 2 goals, and I think he got maximum bonus. 27 points. We've got another one of those to do later in the stream, so we'll do that later. Welcome everyone to the stream. We've got about 1,500 tune in, so if you're enjoying the stream so far, hit like on it. Let's try and get to 500 likes. So everyone hit like if you're enjoying the stream, or dislike if you are disliking the stream, and subscribe if you're not already. We've got just over an hour till the deadline, so I'll keep an eye out for any leaks and stuff as well. There's bound to be some Man City and Liverpool news closer to the deadline, so stick around for that as well. Anything we get, I'll let you guys know straight away. Pat, thanks for the super chat. He says, Oscar Bed, YouTube FPLC. Cash Lascelles Porro. Is there an upside in holding cash for next game week or Zinchenko Saliba? I've got Martinelli, no Saka. The rest is template. I think cash to Saliba is what I would do in your situation. I would say that's an upgrade for this week and longer term. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, obviously you don't have Saka, you've got Martinelli. I think that's okay. Lascelles Porro. Yeah, I would sell cash for Saliba. I think Saliba's a long-term pick. I don't know if he went up last night. Is he 5.5 now? Oh, he's going up tonight. So Saliba's going up to 5.5 tonight. Looks like Palmer's going up tonight. Sterling's going up. Guahi's going up. For that, whoever is asking about Guahi. Yeah, Mitchell's 4.7 already. Guahi's 4.6. Yeah, I would do cash to Saliba in your situation there. Thanks for the super chat. Is Bowen alright? I'll just bring up the Bowen update for everyone that's got Bowen and wondering about him. This was what Moyes said. He said he hopes Jarrod Bowen will be available to face Burnley. However, a final decision will be made today. Antonio is set to be sidelined for a couple of weeks with a knee injury. So it's going to be a last minute one. Late fitness test on Bowen and his availability. Ben White. I'm trying to remember what he said about Ben White. I think he was in training and might play, but it's not guaranteed. Let me see if I can find out what was said about Ben White. I actually can't remember exactly what Arteta said on him. Ben White. No, I'm not sure. Struggling to find the update now. I can't remember what Arteta said. I think he was in training and he stands a chance of making the game, basically. Pat says, I meant best FPL creator on YouTube, mate. Oh, thank you very much. Sorry, I was struggling to understand what you said there. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say. Don't know if that's true or not. There's a lot of quality FPL YouTubers, let's be honest. It's a stacked space. No award though at the FCAs this year for the fplfocal channel. Came runner-up last year, but nothing this year, sadly. Maybe next year. But congrats to Holly Shand who got gold. I'm trying to remember who got silver. Dan got bronze. I can't remember who got silver actually. Was it the FPL fan show? At the Football Content Awards. So next year's our year. So yeah, this week I'm rolling. I did consider Cash to Gabriel, but I do think I prefer Diaby and Gordon to Bumo and Palmer in Gameweek 14. And then I can give Cash the Bournemouth game as well, and then sell him before City. Or maybe sell Kabore and keep hold of Cash. Villa are an awkward one, because they've got the best fixture in blank Gameweek 18. Sheffield United home. So yeah, I could potentially be selling Cash and Diaby. Oh, I've just got DM. Haaland's in the squad, mate. My guy believes he starts, but he doesn't know for certain. And he's passing that on. He says, if nobody gets anything, I'll ask just before the deadline. But Haaland's in the squad. I think we knew this was going to happen anyway. We expected that. And the DM I've got says, my guy believes he starts as well. But we'll keep an eye out for more as we approach the deadline. But that's the DM I just got from a City in the know. Let me just reply to that real quick. Oh. Super chat from Kalian says, would you start Bumo or Archer this week? Oh, that's a close one. I think I'd start Bumo. He's just got so many routes to getting returns that I think it makes more sense to start him. Even though it's a tough fixture, I'd start Bumo. Yeah, pretty close one that. Like, I did look at starting Archer ahead of Gordon. And obviously Gordon's an inferior asset to Bumo, and I still started Gordon. So, on that logic, I'd start Bumo for sure. Thanks for the super chat. Start Wood over Cash or Porro? I would start Wood over Cash. Nottingham Forest defence, I think Toffolo's the best option. I think Forest defence is fine. There's not many budget options this week. Like Guehi and Mitchell, they've got Luton away, which isn't bad. But they've only got really 2 good games in the next 3. And then their fixtures turn. Ain't Nori's an interesting one, playing left mid out of position. Not completely nailed, but he's out of position left mid, got an attacking return in him. I think he's 4-5. So, first game of the game week is Man City versus Liverpool. And I'm putting a poll up. Who wins? Get your votes in. Who do you think wins this one? Massive first game to the game week. I do love it when we've got a big first game to the game week. Man City versus Liverpool. Man City win, Liverpool win, or a draw. Get your votes on that poll. Start Palmer or Bowen? I think I'd start Bowen there. I feel like Bowen starts or doesn't play at all. I guess there's an outside chance he makes the bench. And if they're struggling to beat Burnley, then he comes on. But I'd back them to beat Burnley. Abdelmosen and start Archer or Bowen? I think I'd start Bowen. Because there's that chance he starts and then you'd massively regret it. And there's also a chance he doesn't play at all. So Archer could auto sub on for you. So I'd start Bowen in that situation. Sam Monsbone, my local football team just went top of their league. I'm hoping Liverpool can do the same. Congrats to your local team. Liverpool go top of a win, do they? Didn't realise how tight the table was. (28, 27, 27, 26). So if that ends a draw, Hopefully it's like a 3-3 draw and then Arsenal beat Brentford and then they go top. Yeah, it's so close at the top. Tottenham 26, Villa 25. And then Everton down to 19th after a 10-point deduction. Do you think Everton will still survive this season after the 10-point deduction even? So they're down to 19th now, but they're only 2 points from getting outside the relegation zone. Andrea says, why is everyone so sure Wood is nailed over Origi the GOAT? I think Origi's not even played a minute this season. Like, there's a chance he does come in at some point, but I feel like he was signed probably his 3rd choice striker. And now he'll be 2nd choice while Wani's out. But I'm expecting Wood to be 1st choice. That's my take. And it seems like Forest fans think the same, that Wood's going to be pretty much nailed. I mean, you can't go wrong for 4.9 mil. He's a much better pick than Archer. So, I don't know if I'll end up finding myself in a position to make that move. Maybe around game week 17 or 18. But if I can, I'd love to sell Archer for Wood, because Wood's got Bournemouth home and Archer's got Villa away. So this is 2 points max, I would say, in 18 from Archer. But, you know, Wood home to Forest, who knows? He scored hat-tricks before in the Premier League. I don't know if he's done it at Forest, but I remember he did one... he scored a hat-trick at Burnley. He might have even scored a brace this season. So, scout selection for game week 13. Here's how it looks. They've gone with Johnson in goal. In defence, they've got Gabriel, Aguerd, Aït-Nouri. Midfield is Salah, Son, Foden, Kudus. Front 3 is Haaland, Watkins and Solanke. How many players do you have in the scouts team? Trippier or Cash? Trippier. Shamil reckons City win. Yeah, so 54% have said City win, 28% Liverpool, 18% reckon it'll be a draw. Interesting. For only 4. You've only got 4. 3. Nocturne Booty, only 5. I think you've got the most, mate. Sam's got 5. Sumil's got 6. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have Solanke, Kudus, Aït-Nouri, Aguerd, Gabriel or Johnston. What do you think of the team this week? I quite like it. I think Kudus is a good one. Solanke's great. I don't know about Foden. I would have had Eze over Foden if I was picking this. And probably Saliba over Gabriel with that extra money. Aït-Nouri's a cool one. I like that. Aguerd, maybe. Again, I probably would have gone for one of the fullbacks like Emerson. At least he's got attacking upside. Sumo's got Foden. Morning, Danny. How we doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome all of you. We've got just under an hour till the deadline. As I said earlier, tag me in a photo on Twitter of your stream setup, wherever you're watching from, and I'll retweet it. But yeah, no Saka in the scout selection. And they've gone for Gabriel over Saliba, interestingly. Maybe they were just out of money. But again, I would have had Saliba and Eze over Foden and Gabriel. I'm pretty sure Gabriel starts. I think there's probably a 90% chance he starts. You know, Brentford are good on set pieces. And Gabriel's very good in the air. That's one of his strong suits. So I would say Gabriel starts. But yeah, ideal situation for you Gabriel owners is he starts this one. He's benched midweek in the Champions League. And then he's back in the team, Game Week 14. I think Gabriel started every Champions League game though. So who knows? So that's a scout selection. Keep the questions coming in the chat. Adrian says, do you think Zinchenko will start? I think he probably does, yeah. Someone asked this on last week's stream as well. They're thinking about selling Zinchenko. And I said, don't sell him. Just play him until he's benched. I think he actually scored in the end. So hopefully they remember that good advice. Because my advice isn't always good. I'm not a palm reader? Future reader? I don't have a crystal ball, I guess is what I'm saying. But that one ended up great for them keeping Zinchenko. I think he got 10 points. Yeah, I think he probably starts. Maybe it'll be Tomiyasu in right back. I think Ben White's a bit of a doubt, so maybe we'll actually see Tomiyasu right back, which means Zinchenko's spot is secure anyway, because there is no one to start in his place anyway. So yeah, I'd say he starts. A Palmer reader. Nice. Martinelli to Saka from -4. I don't think that's a worth for -4, to be honest. I don't think it's worth a -4. I don't think there's any game week where you say, I expect Saka to outscore Martinelli by 4, which is essentially what you're saying. I'll do it for free, not for a -4. Flanny says, John, congratulations. What did I miss? What's John done? John says, my man, Focal with the best FPL content on YouTube. It's good to have club football back for 4 months. And by the end of the season, he's going to be a dad. Scary times, he says. Congrats to John, who's going to be a dad by Game Week 38. One day you'll tell your son, oh, you were born in Game Week 34 of the 23-24 season. And it was a double game week and Haaland hauled. And that's why you're called Erling. Tazar says, are you selling Son anytime soon? Nah, probably not now. Probably not. I mean, who would I replace him with? I think I'll just keep hold of him now. I mean, I think it's a luxury transfer at this point. I'm looking to try and get the best team out for Game Week 18. So I don't feel like I can be chopping and changing players like Son. Because next week I'm doing Gordon and Diaby to Palmer and Mbumo. So that basically locks in this front 7. So then I just need to shuffle around the defence, really. I need to sell Cash because he's got a couple of tough games. John says shout out to the Focal Ultras. Shout out to all the Focal Ultras tuning in today. Hopefully the Ultras made it. Haven't heard their chants yet, but I'm sure they're around. Eze in for Diaby. I think Diaby's okay for the next 2. I feel like the Spurs game's got lots of goals in it. Like, let's not forget, Spurs are missing their first 2 choice centre-backs. Van der Ven and Romero both out. Van der Ven injured probably till New Year. And Romero suspended for another 2, I think. They're missing Maddison. Huge loss. I mean, he helps to progress the ball. I feel like there's lots of goals in that game. Are we raiding today? Yeah, we can raid someone after. We'll have to see who's live to go raid. Thomas says, what's your plan on Turner? At the moment, not sure. If I find the money between the cushions on the sofa, I might sell him for Sanchez later on, because the Areola-Sanchez rotation works really nice. I actually tweeted yesterday about some goalkeeper rotations, so if you missed that, let me just pull it up. It was here. I mean, this is great if you're in a wildcard or if you're looking at making a keeper transfer, or even if you're not right now. It's one to bear in mind for the future. There you go. You see that? So these are keepers that rotate with Areola. So if there's a strike through, then it means that you don't play them that week. So the 3 here are Sanchez, Leno and Neto. And they all rotate pretty much perfectly with Areola. Obviously, it goes without saying, goalkeeper rotations can sometimes not work out. Like, you get these random clean sheets in games you don't expect. They make like 3, 4, 5 saves. They end up with bonus points. But there is a really nice, clear run of games here if you hop on that rotation. So, yeah, those are the 3 keepers I'm looking at. Sanchez, Leno and Neto. And yeah, I put it all the way to Game Week 29, but you know, it might be sooner, it might be later. Depends when you wildcard. On the subject of chips though, that was the poll I wanted to do. The question is, are you free hitting blank Game Week 18? Yes, no, or not sure yet. So in case you missed it, Man City and Brentford don't play Game Week 18. So some of us are going to get to Game Week 18, and we've got some players that have bad fixtures or players that are injured, stuff like that. So it does become an option to free hit in Game Week 18. Let me catch up on chat. I've missed so many messages. Sorry about that. To those that are tuning in late on Bowen, it's going to be a late fitness test, so we don't know if he'll play or not, basically. What would your free hit 11 look like? It'd be very close to the scout selection that we had up just now, but I'd have Eze over Foden and Saliba over Gabriel. So rewind to the scout selection. I'd go with the team they put up there. Archer or Alvarez to start. I'd start Alvarez. Start Dogi or Simicast. I'd start Dogi for sure. Is Edison out injured? I'm not sure if Pep gave an update on him. Let me just double check. Premier Injuries. PremierInjuries.com is the one run by Ben Dinnery. Potential return 25th. Late fitness test. So after the game, the player got in touch, as did City's medical department. He suffered a foot injury in the final minutes. He was able to continue the match, but the pain became intense. Late fitness test, so that's all we know on him. FPL Juice in the chat, he says, we're with you, Focal. Shout out to the FPL Juice boys. I don't know if you're still watching, Juice boys, but we had, let me find it. I had a question I was asking the stream just now, and the question was, do I look like Cole Palmer? Tell me what you guys think. I don't see it. I don't look like Palmer. What are we talking about? I ran a poll and they said yes. They voted something like 70% yes. I don't see it. I don't look anything like him. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good stream over at FPL Juice. If you guys aren't subscribed to FPL Juice, go check him out. You do look like him. What? What do you mean I look like him? I don't look like him at all. Thanks for the gifted membership as well. Thank you very much, FPL Juice. Hope you're having a good stream over there. Whoever's live. Nick, Ash, Yelena. Palmer poll. We did the Palmer poll and everyone said I look like... Everyone said I do look like him. Who do I look like more? Palmer or Bamford? Looks like your younger brother. Yeah, he looks like me. How about that? How about I flip that one back? He looks like me. John says I'm better looking. I don't know about that, but thank you, John. De Bruyne news. De Bruyne's still out for a while. He's not close to return. I believe it's at least another month. It might be the new year that we see De Bruyne back. So, what was the poll? Are you free hit in blank Game Week 18? 16% yes, 48% no, 36% not sure yet. Oh, it's been a good stream so far. How long have we got? 50 minutes. Right, we're going to go back and play another round of this game. So, the question is, can you name the player that got this score? One of the biggest scores of all time. And bonus points if you can name the season that they got this score. So 24 points this player got. Can you name the player? And can you name the season they got that score? Start Lascelles or Simicast? Lascelles. Sam says Darwizzy starts. Is that true? Let me check if there's been a leak on that. Oh, Darwin starts. There we go. That's from the Anfield Talk. I may as well retweet that. So, Trent 2019, Suarez 11-12. Simicast today. Simicast with the 24-pointer today. Daniel Sturridge, Suarez, Sturridge, Trent. Oh, I think a lot of you have got this one. The answer was Trent Alexander-Arnold. I had him for this game week as well. I'm not intentionally picking out the ones that I had them. A lot of the ones we do normally I didn't own. But I did have him for this one. It was in Game Week 18 of the 1920 season. It was a single game week, and Trent got a goal, 3 assists, a clean sheet, and 3 bonus. So he got 24 points in one game. Well done if anyone got it. Is Ain't Nori a good pick? I think he's a good punt. The concern that I have is, one, he's on 4 yellows, so just be careful with that. If he gets one more, then he misses a game. If he gets it this game week, that's fine, because I think they've got a tough game in Game Week 14, I believe. And the other thing, he's not completely nailed. He should be pretty much nailed, but not completely. Like, what if Sarabia gets a start? He scored a quality goal last game week. Took a touch on the volley and then buried it on the volley. Let me just check. I think I missed a super chat or two. Thanks for everyone that's let me know that I missed those. Start Archer or Bowen. I think I did that one. Bowen. There was one about Wood. Did that. Lupo says Captain Salah, Haaland, Son, Alvarez or Darwin. Love. I'm on Captain Haaland. I think it's super close this week. Like, the projected points actually have Son top. This is FPL Review's latest, but it's super close. And this is with Haaland on 85 expected minutes. I mean, there's a chance he plays 90, isn't there? So I think if you have him on 90 minutes, they're probably dead even. But these are the top projections for Game Week 13. Son top, then Haaland, then Saka, Solanke, Eze. So I'm on Captain Haaland and then Son. Haaland top of the goal scorer odds. But if you want to go with the differential, when it's that close, you can back the differential. I mean, he's not really differential, but compared to Haaland he is. Then logic says when 2 players are close, you could go for the differential for the higher upside. But I'm on Haaland and Son vice. And A says who to bench. Lascelles, Cher, Maguire, Gabriel, Taylor. Though Boomo and Cher this game week. Oh, he bought them this game week. Is benching Gabriel a mistake? So I'd bench Taylor. I would start Gabriel. I'll start Gabriel over Lascelles. So I would bench Lascelles and Taylor. So you start Cher, Maguire, Gabriel. Alright, let's check if there's any more leaks. All we know is that Darwin starts so far. So that's good news if you own Darwin. Don't think there's anything else. I'll keep an eye. As I say, if we get any leaks or anything as we approach the deadline, then I will relay that to you guys. Shout out to John Allen, who's just become an FPL Focal member. Thanks for that, John. When you have your kid, you can call him Focal. How about that? Later in the season. Thanks for that, John. If anyone else wants to become a member, it's the join button below the stream. Supports the channel. You get a badge by your name in the stream and in the comments on videos. There's the members channel on Discord. You get early access to videos and the members league. So if anyone's a member, don't forget to link your Discord account to YouTube in settings and you'll see the channel automatically. Any news on Bowen? Yeah, a lot of Bowen questions this week. This is what Moyes said. He said he hopes Bowen's going to be available to face Burnley. However, a final decision will be made tomorrow. So basically, we don't know if he starts or not. If I had him, I wouldn't sell. If I didn't have him, I wouldn't buy. I answered that earlier, Amir. I basically said if I was on a free hit, it'd be the scout selection. So it'd be this, basically. If I was on a free hit, I think I'd have this team. I'd have Eze over Foden. I'd have Saliba over Gabriel. And maybe Emerson. I can't remember if Emerson's... I think he's available. And Emerson over Aguerd. Pretty much this team, if I was on a free hit. That's what I would go for. Alexander Arnold? Alexander Allison says, class graphic there, Oscar, to be fair. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Yeah, I've got loads of graphics here in OBS. I've actually been adding some green screens just in case like I have any need for them. Maybe, yeah, so I've got a few here. I don't know why I've got some of these here. Like, I've got this one. FPL Hasbullah. I don't know when I'm going to find a use for those, but I was messing around last night with it, and I was just adding random green screens. I did it like an Oscar. Thanks, Hugh. I wonder if that username's taken. FPL Hasbullah. No, I haven't used my free hit yet. I've still got the free hit. Obichina says, I watch you mostly because of your voice. It calms me down. Glad to be of service. That ASMR. FPL ASMR. Oscarella. Yeah, Darwin starts. That's all we know so far. Let me check that. If there's any more leaks, then I'll let you guys know straight away. But I think that's all we've got so far. Yeah. I mean, in terms of Liverpool, the rest of it's pretty predictable. Look at this tweet George has just tagged me in. I'm going to have to retweet that straight away. As I said earlier, if there's any... tag me in a photo of your stream setup and I'll retweet it. His little boy's got Hasbullah on the screen. That is such a good photo. Is there anything else there to retweet? I bet I probably shouldn't scroll it, scroll through it on the stream, because if I get tagged in something bad, then I get demonetized. FPL soothing voice. Vocals for the children. Arto says, hey Oscar, love the music. Diaby to Eze. It feels a little bit sideways to me this week. I feel like Diaby's good for the next two. I really do think there's going to be quite a few goals in Spurs v Villa. Now, let's not forget, Spurs are missing Van der Ven, Romero. I think Maddison's a big miss in midfield in terms of helping to progress the ball. Like, we saw Son dropping really deep last match as a result of that. Lack of ball playing centre-backs, no Maddison to progress the ball. I think it's actually a good fixture for Diaby, even though it's obviously grey on the fixture ticker. It's pretty sideways. I'd say go with your gut on that one. If you've got a perfect team, 2 free transfers, then it's fine. But otherwise, I would keep Diaby. I wouldn't sell Douglas Luiz to Eze for a hit, Matthew. Not worth a hit, I would say. Neville says, hi Oscar, why did you call yourself focal? Basically, when I started the channel, I was thinking of random words. I was just saying random words out loud after FPL to see what sounded good. So I was looking around like FPL desk, FPL computer, FPL bin. So, fun fact, I was actually FPL bin for like a week or two. Genuinely, I was called FPL bin. I've still got the email and everything I signed up for. And then I was like, that's rubbish. Pun not intended. Pun intended. So I changed from FPL bin. I just was like FPL focal. And I guess like focal, it means like the central to everything going on. Like commentators say he's the focal point. It just sounded quite good. Do you think it's a good username? FPL focal? I mean, it's too late to change now, so hopefully you like it. Bin that name off, yeah. I'm glad you didn't stick with FPL bin. So am I. Yeah, that would have been terrible. Trash name, that. Best Palace defender. I would go for Guehi now. I feel like Guehi and Mitchell are basically even. They're going to finish the season about the same points. I know Mitchell scored like a game or two ago, but I'd say they're even. For the 0.1 mil saving, you might as well get Guehi. He's going up tonight, most likely. I put this in a video this week. Do you guys think this would be a good idea if price changes were transparent? So you could see exactly when a player's going up or down. I'll put a poll, and whether you think that's a good idea or whether you like the randomness and the anarchy of price changes. So the idea is, you know, like we've got third-party sites we have to use to go and check whether players are going up or down, but it's not an exact science. We don't know for sure when players are going up or down. It's guesswork. So the thinking was, why don't FPL just add it on their site? so we know exactly when a player's going up or down. Clear as day. How we doing, Saga? Welcome to the stream. Gabriel Lascelles, Gabriel. Does Haaland start? We haven't had a leak on Haaland yet, but I'm fully expecting him to start. I think there's no question that he starts. I mean, he literally tweeted just yesterday saying, see you tomorrow. So I think it's safe to say that Haaland starts. But it seems like all we've had so far is that Darwin starts. Son should be sold after this week. He could make the case before the City game, but then after that he's got West Ham home. West Ham can't give a clean sheet to save their life. Newcastle home, that'd be tougher. Forest. I'm probably going to keep hold of Son. But it depends on your team. Like, if you haven't got Saka, then I think Son to Saka is something to consider. Because he's got Wolves and then Luton. Any news on Onana? Yes, I think Onana was fine. Let me just check that. Yeah, Onana's fit to face Everton on Sunday. Højlund's going to undergo a late fitness test. Luke Shaw's available. Haven't seen him since Game Week 2. Johnny Evans nearing return, but not ready this week. So I guess it's Maguire, Lindelof and Maguire, Varane, centre-back. Who'd you captain as a non-Haaland owner? If I didn't have Haaland, I assume you've got Son and Salah. So I'd probably be on captain Son, vice-captain Salah, if I didn't have Haaland. What does Archer's XGI look like? Not good. Not good. This season, he's got 0.9 XGI in total. So I think he might be worse than the league for minutes per expected goal involvement. Among strikers, that is. But Bournemouth home, decent fixture. Burnley away, like, he is playable. Can you type a bit quicker, please? Is Bowen available? Late fitness test on Bowen. So, yeah, we don't know for sure. Right, question for you guys. Can you guess who the most transferred in player is this week? Most transferred in player. Get your guesses in the chat who you think that will be. And then we'll have a look at who that actually is. I'm not sure who it is. Would it be Bumo? Who else did well last week? Bowen? No, it wouldn't be Bowen. Why is everyone saying Bowen? Most transferred in. Oh, maybe actually. Because he did well before the break, didn't he? Yeah, maybe. Palmer. Solanke. That's crazy if it's Bowen. Like, he might not even play. Let's see who it actually was. Oh, it's Palmer. 577,000 have transferred him in. Saliba's second. 488,000. Saka, 341. Solanke, Bumo. Oh, Bumo's much further down. I was way off. Bowen, 335,000. Hands up in chat if you brought in Bowen early over the break. Instead of waiting to catch a price rise or to beat a price drop. Hands up if you bought Bowen in. I would look at it as a positive though. Like, if you did, these are the mistakes. Not necessarily a mistake, it might not be, but these are the sort of mistakes that you have to make sometimes to learn a lesson the hard way. Like, if he doesn't play this week, then at least you'll learn that lesson the hard way. You know what I mean? Like, if he plays and hauls, then you might think, oh, I can get away with that every time. But I never move early over international breaks. Ever. For that reason. They're too unpredictable. Like, some people have got Mitoma as well. So you might have sold someone for Bowen, and then you've got Mitoma who's out. Bowen's a doubt. It's just not worth it. Over international breaks, it's worth waiting for that extra information. So with that all in mind, guesses in chat, who's the most sold player this game week? Most sold player. Who would it be? It wouldn't be Bowen, would it? Imagine if he's one of the most sold and most bought. Who else? Mitoma, maybe? Cash? Maddison? Mitoma? Bowen? There's no way Bowen's like the most sold and also one of the most bought. Martin says he loves the playlist. Is it available on Spotify? It's not, but it's Harris Heller. That's the artist. The album, yeah, the album's a mixture of albums. Renegade, Ego, Breaker, Lone Wolf. Let's see who it actually was. Most sold. Oh, it's close. Matoma, just under 1 million. So by the deadline, you'll have over 1 million sales. And then Madison, Cash, Bowen, White, Romero. I think Cash is going down tonight. Oh no, he went down last night, didn't he? That's annoying because my sell price has gone down. Romero, Son. Oh, Son, 200,000. Alvarez, Hoyland. CFJW, Matoma and Gordon to Palmer and Bumo, or Matoma to Ward-Prowse. I like the first one much more. I would do Matoma and Gordon to Palmer and Mbumo. Assuming that you can't just afford Mbumo. I keep calling him Mbumo. It's Bumo now, isn't it? Mabast says, thanks to Bowen, I'm at 4.3k. Fair play. What's everyone's ranks? Let us know in chat. What's your rank right now? Your overall rank. Yeah, thanks for that, CFJW. I would bring in Palmer and Bumo. Luke Smith says, got Ferguson before the break. I'm tempted to switch to Solanke. Thoughts? Yeah, I think that's a fair move. I like that. Like, as we saw, Solanke's right up there on the projections for this week. Sheffield United. He got braced against Newcastle. He's got Sheffield United this week. One of the worst defences in the league. Yeah, we just don't know if Ferguson starts. That's the problem. Whereas Solanke, at least know he's going to play 90 minutes. Penalties. I think that's a good move, Luke. I like that move. You could consider Wood as well, 4.9 mil. But I think Solanke's great. Knuta's 23k, 100k, Keon. Top 10? I don't believe you. 75k JSN. ES has any leaks? I think all we've had is that Darwin starts, but I'll keep refreshing as we near the deadline. If there's anything else, I'll let you guys know straight away. There's bound to be more as we hit the deadline. Bjorn is 14k, very good. Rich is 600k, 474k, 108k, 1.1 mil, 5.5k, 146k, 204 overall. That's an excellent rank. Benjamin Evans, thanks very much for becoming a member. Thank you very much for your support, Benjamin. Do you prefer Benjamin or Ben? Probably Benjamin if that's your name. Thanks for that, Benjamin. Thanks very much for the support and all the new members. If anyone else wants to become a member, use the join button below the stream. It supports the channel. You get early access to videos, a little badge by your name in the chat and comments. There's the Members League. And did I mention the Members channel on Discord? Can't remember if I said that. I'm looking at so many places at the same time when I talk. Anyway. Wan-Bissaka or Tsimikas? I would bench Tsimikas. De Bruyne starts. Alex says the only member I'd consider membering for. Wait, the only channel I'd consider membering for. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. Are you planning to get Palmer? I am. I'm looking to go Diaby and Gordon to Bumo and Palmer in Game Week 14. So, I'm rolling this week. Oh yeah, let me tweet my team before I forget. Screenshot of that. Game Week 13, rolling the transfer. Captain. If anyone's not following me, at fplfocal on Twitter, or X, or whatever you want to call it now, and Instagram, and I'm on Threads as well, just in case X dies out. Seems like it could happen eventually, maybe. Covering all bases. Yeah, we heard that Nunez starts. Oh yeah, I forgot that poll. Would you like price changes to be transparent? 75% yes, 25% no. Are we going to see early team news for Man City and Liverpool? We should do, yeah, we should do, because it's the first kickoff of the game week. So it could come a bit closer to the deadline, but I'm going to keep refreshing the background, so the second we get anything, you guys will know. I'm also checking my phone. I got a message from Man City in the know who believes Haaland starts. He said he's definitely in the squad and he believes that he starts. And he said he'll message close to the deadline if no one else has already leaked anything by then. Dara Well says, hit the likes, lads. Yeah, if you are enjoying the stream, then make sure you hit like on it to help the channel out in the algorithm, and subscribe if you're not already. Been a great stream. It's actually maybe my favourite stream of the season. Really enjoyed this. Sagar says, any crucial leaks today? So City versus Liverpool's the first kickoff. That's at 12:30 UK time. So if we get anything, we should do. I'm expecting something within the next 20 or so minutes. So whatever we get, I'll let you know. There was one that Darwin starts. That's pretty much all we've had so far. Bench one of Solanke, Palmer and Gordon. It's between Palmer and Gordon. I'd probably bench Palmer there. We know that Isak and Almiron are back from injury, so Newcastle's attack should look a lot better. John says you should allow fans to pay £100 to join you in the chat. Do you mean join me on the stream? That'd be a good concept. I don't know about the £100, that's a lot, but it'd be quite fun to have people on the stream. But it could be a bit chaotic having like random subscribers on, because it's already hard enough to like follow everything going on chat, let alone if I was talking to someone, plus following the leaks and everything else. Not a bad idea. I can't charge £100. I'd rather do it for free, to be honest. I'd rather just invite people on for free. I've mentioned this in the past stream. I'd like to have someone on the stream as well. I don't know who, but I wouldn't charge for it. Sell cash or sells? Between those two, I'd sell cash. It's Flaggy's brought in Palmer for Diaby. Starting Ketty or Ward-Prowse? I'd start Ward-Prowse. Jesus is back from injury, involved with Brazil over the break, so I would say Nketiah looks unlikely to start now. I think Yelena does the FPL Juice deadline stream, so doesn't she? Streamception. So, but maybe like a YouTuber that doesn't stream at all, or isn't active during the deadlines, that I could invite on. Start Darwin or Palmer? I think I'd start Darwin there, you know, based on the leak. Nova says, does Bowen start? Bowen and Hwang to Bumo Ward-Prowse. I think Bowen's a don't sell, don't buy myself. And I feel like Hwang's fine as well. He's got Fulham, so you don't want to sell him. We don't have any leaks on if he starts though, that's the thing. It's just, we don't have anything to go on other than what Moyes said, which is that a final decision is going to be made today. Do they kick off this afternoon? What time's the West Ham game? I mean, it's 3 o'clock. It's very unlikely, but there might be a leak. There might be a leak. If I had to guess, I would really be guessing though. I'd say he doesn't start. But I still think he's a hold if you can. If you can. But he's got such an amazing injury record. I think he's missed like one game at West Ham. Something crazy like that. So it's one game max. And you're going to want him like after that, aren't you? Even if he misses Burnley. Palace home. Tottenham, who will be still missing Van der Ven. Fulham, Wolves. So I think Bowen's a hold despite the flag. Do you guys agree with that? Mitoma's a sell because he's out 100%. Bowen has a chance. Would you collab with Let's Talk FPL? I don't think I could ever do a collab on a deadline stream with another YouTuber, that's the thing. Maybe for a video. Maybe for a video we could do something. Yeah. I'd love to. I'm not sure what I'd do, but I'd love to. Who's buzzing for loads of FPL though? Over the next 42 days, we've got 8 deadlines. Would you collab with FPLfocal? I've never heard of him. Any leaks? Darwin starts. That's all we've got so far. As we're near the deadline, there's probably going to be more. So I'll keep an eye out. Nothing else yet. I had a message from a City in the know that said Haaland's in the squad and they think he starts. So they said they'll send me more or they'll ask their Man City contact more if there's no other leaks by the deadline. He doesn't like to ask if he can avoid it, basically, because there tends to be leaks anyway. But he will ask if there's no City leaks as we near the deadline. Would you collab with FPL Bin? Alvarez de Jesus -4. Ah, not for a -4. Liver or cash? That's a really close one. Probably Livra, because he's going to start. We know that because Hall can't play. So probably Livra. I think Spurs score, if I'm honest. John says, poll idea. How many watching City versus Liverpool? Alright, let's do that. There's the poll. I've got a question for all of you. Who is your favourite FPL player of all time? I've got a few there. A few of the most popular ones. I'm covering up Bamford. My apparent doppelganger. Who's your favourite FPL asset of all time? Let us know in chat. I mean, there's so many candidates here. JM says, hey mate, defence is Taylor, Mitchell, Magu? Maguire. Kabore on the bench. We've also got Bowen. Is it worth a -4 or a -8 to sort the team out? Kabore will drop in value. Taylor, Mitchell, Maguire, Kabore on the bench. So they'll all play. Taylor, Mitchell, Maguire. It's not worth taking a hit for a defender because there's no big upside defenders. But I understand the concern with Bowen, but I don't think it's worth a hit myself. Unless you can do something crazy like Kabore to Saliba. Other than that, I just wouldn't do it. It's just not worth the hit because Bowen could play. And you don't want to sell Bowen. And realistically, what defenders are going to score enough to repay the hit? In terms of Kabore dropping in value, let me check. No, he's nowhere near. Kabore's nowhere near to a drop, so you're okay there. I don't think it's worth a hit. Salah's your favourite. Stuart Dallas is Oliver's. Aguero. John's is Lundstrom. Mikey's is Sanchez. Saki's favourite is Vardy. Who's Zaki? He was a bit of a cult hero way back. It was like 2008 or something. He went on a crazy run. He was being linked with Real Madrid at one point. It was a one-season wonder. Lundstrom. Chariot says Aguero. Salah. Pukki. Arnautovic. That's a good shout. I haven't heard him for a while. I haven't seen his name mentioned for a while. Yeah, he was good actually. I think it was West Ham and Stoke, was it? I can't remember who he was at before West Ham. Defoe, Salah, Henry, Vardy, Salah. Yeah, there's loads. If I had to pick one, it'd probably be maybe Mahrez or Michu. Because I had Mahrez in the 15-16 season. I was following the pre-season, right? This was way before I started the channel. I was following the pre-season results, and Mahrez had a good pre-season. I didn't know anything about him really, but yeah, he was having a good pre-season, and he was 5.5 mil. So I thought, it's probably worth a go. That's cheap. And he ended up getting, I think, 17 goals, 12 assists, and he got about 240 points, and he was only 5.5 mil. Must be one of the best value players of all time that season. Ridiculous. And obviously they went on to win the league, so I've got a soft spot for Mahrez. And then before that, like 2011-12, I think it was Michu. He was an out of position mid, scored like 18 goals as a striker for Swansea. I think he won the League Cup with them as well. Start Simicastle Bowen. Start Bowen. Will Cash play? Yes, he should play. Just refreshing for leaks. Nothing yet. Rio says, should I do Cash and Bowen to Saliba and Bumo for -4? I don't think it's worth a -4. That's a close one, but I don't think it's worth a hit. Saliba and Bumo for -4. The problem is, as I was saying, I don't think Bowen's a sell. There's a chance he makes the game, which says to me he'll definitely play Gameweek 14. So you're going to have Palace home, Tottenham away, Fulham away, Wolves home. Like, that's a really nice run of games for Bowen. But I get it. If there's no one else you can sell for Bumo, who I think is a better pick from next week, then I would just about do that, yeah. Because Cash is a sell this week, ideally. I'm going to give him the next 2. But I think Cash is only a sell for someone like Saliba. Or if you've got a really good team and 2 free transfers, then you could get someone like 8 Nori or Guehi, Mitchell maybe. Yeah, I'd probably do that, Rio. There is potential for that to backfire if Bowen starts, but basically it's Bumo versus Bowen. Bumo's the better pick for the next 5. And Saliba's better than Cash. Yeah, I think that's worth it. It might not be repaid this week, but it should be longer term. Official INZ says, hey bro, I've got Højlund and Mitoma. Which should I transfer out? I don't want to take a hit by transferring both. Who's the ideal replacement? I would sell Mitoma and I would buy Bumo, basically. If you can afford him. That's what I would do. Mitoma to Bumo. I mean, Palmer's okay as well, but I prefer Bumo first. Palmer's great from Gameweek 14 or Gameweek 16. If you can afford Bumo, I would do Mitoma to Bumo. It's a week earlier than you probably would have wanted to make that move, but I'd say it's worth it because we know that Mitoma's out. He won't play. Højlund, late fitness test, he might. Mitoma's definitely out, so I'd prioritise that and get Bumo. So, yeah, I think a lot of you have got Bowen, and I think he's don't buy, don't sell. Especially if you've got someone like Archer, who you could have on your bench, who comes on if Bowen doesn't play. I know it's annoying, it's not ideal when Bowen's a question mark and we don't know for sure. But that's the reality of it. Moyes said it's going to be a late fitness test and whether he's involved or not. And they'll decide today. They'll decide today. So, I don't think we'll get a leak because it's a 3 o'clock game, but I'll keep an eye. Thanks for the super chat, Time Traveller's Notebook. Thank you for that. Appreciate that very much. No message on that one. Thank you, though. And Yazan, thanks for the super chat. He's got Areola, Flecken, Cash, Simicast, Trippier, Cabore, Gusto, Neto, Bumo, Salah, Diaby, Son, Alvarez, Haaland, Archer. 2 transfers. I need help for Saka and Saliba, Gabriel. Sell Haaland, -4, -8. Definitely wouldn't sell Haaland. That's crazy to me. Definitely wouldn't be. I mean, I'm captaining him, so I wouldn't be selling Haaland. So, in terms of Saka, depends how much you've got in the bank. You could go Neto to Palmer and then see how much that frees up. I mean, Saka's okay. You don't have to buy him this week. You could just do Neto to Palmer, and that frees up a bit of money. And then next week, you could make another move. But you are having to start Simicast, I think. So you start Trippier and Cash. Gusto probably won't play. Yeah, it's hard to answer without knowing how much you've got in the bank. But you could sell Cash for a cheaper defender, like Guehi or Mitchell. You could sell Neto for Palmer, and that might have enough money in the bank to do Diaby to Saka in game week 14 when he's home to Wolves. But you're going to have to check how much that leaves you in the bank. Definitely don't sell Haaland though. And I don't think you need to take a hit. I would probably just sell Neto for Palmer, Cash for a cheaper defender, and then leave the door open for Diaby to Saka in game week 14. Because you don't want to start Trippier. You don't want to start Simicast. I guess you have to. Yeah, that's what I would do. You start Trippier. You have to start Cash or who you replace him with. I wouldn't sell Gusto. So yeah, you start Simicast. It's not ideal, but that's what I would do. Unless you've got loads in the bank, in which case then you could sell Gusto. Yeah, Darwin starts. Let me check if there's any other leaks. We've got just over 10 minutes till the deadline. Nothing yet. I'll keep an eye out on it. Keep your questions coming in. I'll answer as many as possible as we approach the deadline. Do you guys want another run through of the press conferences yesterday, or are you happy you know everything now? There's an update from Luton, Liverpool, Brighton, Man United, West Ham, City, Chelsea and Tottenham. So I've got it open still if you want a news roundup. Start Cash or Lascelles? I would go Lascelles. Simicast or Taylor? Taylor. Are you watching City versus Liverpool? 86% yes, 14% no. Okay, a quick update, final update of all the press conferences and everything you need to know from yesterday. The Luton news is that Kabore is going to miss Gameweek 13, picking up a head injury on the international break. Liverpool news. Klopp gave nothing away on whether the South American players are ready to start. We've had a leak that Darwin starts, or it looks like a leak anyway. The Anfield Talk tweeted a gif of Darwin, which we can interpret as him starting. Brighton news. Mitoma is out for Gameweek 13. No Mitoma this week. Milner's also out. Dunk is available. Estupiñán's out for a long time. Lamptey's fit, but probably not for 90 minutes. Man United news. Anana's fit and available to face Everton on Sunday. Højlund's going to undergo late fitness test. Shaw is back. We haven't seen him since Gameweek 2. Evans is nearing a return, but won't be ready to play in Gameweek 13. West Ham update. Bowen update. Moyes hopes that Bowen's going to be available to face Burnley. However, a final decision to be made today. This was yesterday that he said tomorrow. Antonio is set to be sidelined for a couple of weeks with a knee injury. Pep didn't give much away on Haaland. He said he trained yesterday with some niggles, but today we have the last training session. Hopefully he can be a part of it. I'm fully expecting Haaland to start. He tweeted this yesterday evening saying, see you tomorrow. So I'm expecting to see Haaland start. I don't think there's much doubt about that. Chelsea news. Colwill is available and Kunku is still sidelined, not available yet. That's about it from Chelsea. Fofana is back on grass, might return later this season. Spurs update. Udogi's fine and available to face Aston Villa despite pulling out over the international break. Sarr's going to be assessed. Basumas is suspended. I guess that's another reason why there could be lots of goals in that game. Not just the high lines, but Basuma out injured as well. Spurs missing Van der Ven and Romero. Alvarez starts. Let me check that. Where's that from? I haven't seen that anywhere. Can't see anything on Twitter yet. No, nothing yet on that. Fantasy Football Chronicles, thanks to the super chat. Hi Oscar, would you start Alvarez or Ferguson this week? Probably Alvarez. Just because he's likely to start. Like Ferguson's still not necessarily going to start, I think. So I'd start Alvarez between the two. I think there's goals in that City-Liverpool game. As I said earlier, the last 10 times they met, there's been 2 clean sheets total for either side. 3.6 goals per average in Man City versus Liverpool's last 10 fixtures, the last 10 head-to-heads. So I'd start Alvarez. I think I'm caught up there with super chats and so on. Keep the questions coming in. Start 8 Nori, Walker or Simicast. I'd start 8 Nori. Cash to Reece James. I don't hate it, but my problem with Reece James is, does he start all the games in December? Like, there's 7 deadlines in December. 7. It's great for us. Like, there's loads of FPL, loads of videos, loads of FPL deadline streams. But in terms of like our actual assets, we need players that are reliable to start every game. And can we say that about James? I think he's okay, but he's going to be rotated at some point, so you have to think about that. But obviously, he's got massive upside. Like, there could be a double-digit haul anywhere sprinkled in that schedule. So I don't mind James, but yeah, it's not a player I'm going to go for. Bad injury record and probably doesn't play all games. Here's the headlines on that one. Kano says, Leno, Areola, Saliba, Digne, Simicast, Lascelles, Taylor, Saka, Salah, Palmer, Gordon, Son, Watkins, Alvarez, Haaland. Who starts? So you start... I'd start Areola. I'd start Saliba. I'd start Digne. I'd start Lascelles. I'd start Saka, Salah, Palmer, Gordon, Son, Watkins and Haaland. So you bench Simicast, Taylor and Alvarez. There we go. Nova says start Hechan or Archer. Thanks, mate. I would start... I think I'd start Hee-Chan. I think I'd give Hwang the start there. You know, playing for a team with a better attack. I'd say he's probably likelier to get a goal. And he's classed as a mid, so you get an extra point per goal. Potential clean sheet point there. I think I'd start Hwang personally. Alright, I'm still refreshing in the background for last minute leaks or anything. Let me just DM that guy who sent me a bit of Man City news earlier. Asked him if there's anything yet. No leaks. Yeah, the second there's any leaks, I'll let you guys know straight away. We've got just over 5 minutes till deadline. Obviously, it's City versus Liverpool, first game of the game week, so there's bound to be some bits and bobs that come in, or potentially. We'll do a final captain poll. Who is your captain for game week 13? While we wait for that. Haaland, Salah, Son, and other. For other, I've put message in chat, so let us know in the chat who your other is. Haaland starts. There we go. Why am I tweeting that? Let me just retweet him. Haaland starts. There we go. Let's see what else comes through. This is from FPL Tony, who's reliable for Man City, by the way. Very reliable. That's what he said there. He said Haaland starts. There was the tweet earlier that Darwin starts. And we'll keep refreshing because there could be more that comes through before the deadline. Are there any players that you guys want to know about, leaks-wise? Like Simicas or Alvarez? Man City in the know replied. He said, "I've just asked him. Haaland's in the squad." Yeah, we know that. We know now from FPL Tony that Haaland starts. There might be more. That's what we've got so far. You want to know about Doku? You want to know about Alvarez? Alvarez. A lot of people want to know about Alvarez. I'm just going to reply. Yeah, he said Tony's confirmed Haaland. I'll say got loads in the stream asking about Alvarez. Was there anyone else? If you happen to find out. Alright, 4 minutes till deadline. Reminder to sort out your captaincy. Make sure your bench is in the right order. If you're not starting Archer there, and he's your best option, make sure he's first on your bench, so to speak. I worded that terribly. You know what I meant. As says Hi Oscar, my defence is Gabriel, Cash, Gueye, and Maguire. Who to bench? I would start Gabriel, I'd start Gueye, and I'd start Maguire over Cash, I think. I do think Villa score, so with Cash you're counting on an attack in return. Let me scroll down here. Leaks. So it's all we've had so far. Haaland starts. 4 minutes till deadline. Are we going to get anything more? Cutting it fine. So I'm captain of Haaland. My vice captain is Son. In terms of your captaincies, 57% Haaland captain, 17% Salah, 16% Son, and 10% other. So it's pretty spread beyond Haaland this week. If you want to know about Foden, how are we doing, Bowley? Welcome to the stream. Who to captain? I would check the captain poll results. Those are probably the best three, but there's some good options this week outside of those, like Watkins, Saka. I think I've seen 1 or 2 on Solanke captain. Obviously, he's got Sheffield United. Bowen news. The Bowen news is that it's going to be a late fitness test today. So there's a chance he makes the game. Noctan Booley says, will not captain Haaland be annihilating to rank? If you own him and don't captain him, then not necessarily. Like his effective ownership might be like 150%. So for every point he scores, the rest of the managers score 50% of that against you. So it's not the end of the world at all. It's just the same as like not owning a 50% owned player. So like let's say you don't own Watkins, he's 43%. So it'd be like not owning Watkins, I guess. same way to look at it. I guess captaincy might be a bit spread this week, so it wouldn't be too brutal, but I mean, I'm just guessing there that it might be about 150% EO. So all we've had is actually so far is Haaland starts and Darwin. I'm still refreshing in case there's anything last minute. I know a lot of you want to know about Doku, Foden, Alvarez. Oh, his mate isn't working today at the ground, so he's not going to be able to get any Man City leaks. So we'll check on Twitter on the leaks list. I mean, if you still haven't made your transfer, there's 1 minute, so I'll just lock it in now and do your captain. I mean, I think Alvarez starts for what it's worth. Like, he's pivotal to everything City do, so I'm fully expecting him to start. Obviously, he did play against Brazil over the break a few days ago, so you never know 100%, but I think he's too crucial because of no De Bruyne. And that's why we see him playing pretty much every week. I think he started every game, hasn't he? So that's me this week. I'm rolling the transfer, keeping it open for Gameweek 14. Gameweek 14, I'm thinking about selling Diaby for a Bumo, and maybe Gordon to Palmer. And that is everything that I've got on Twitter. Just Haaland starts. And there was that gif earlier from Anfield Talk of Nunez, which implies Nunez starts. And Shark says, thanks for the stream, little dude. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the stream today. Good turnout as always. If you did enjoy it, then make sure you hit like before you go and subscribe if you're not already. Been a good stream. If anyone says anything about Alvarez after the deadline, then don't sweat about it. It could be trolls. It's too late anyway to do anything about it. There's nothing on Twitter in terms of Alvarez, unfortunately. So we'll find out shortly. Sorry I couldn't get too much on City and Liverpool today. Doku starts. Where's that come from? What's the source for that? Alvarez benched. There's no way that's come through after the deadline. I'm just going to double check where that's come from. Could be a troll because it came through after the deadline. But the DM I just got was I've just seen that Alvarez is benched and Doku starts. Nothing we can do now anyway, the deadline's passed. Oh, it's lazy FPL. 2 minutes before the deadline, Haaland and Doku start, Alvarez not in the 11. Add remove to list. I thought they were on my list already. Damn. Yeah, that came through literally 2 minutes before the deadline. So sorry we didn't catch that one in time. They said that Alvarez isn't in the starting 11. They said Doku starts. So expecting Alvarez to come off the bench. And that is everything we got. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I hope Alvarez comes on and hauls if any of you have started him. Appreciate you all tuning into the deadline stream. And I'll be on the FPL Discord. So if you're not a member of the Discord, I'll chuck the link in the chat. Is there anyone we can go raid? Should we go over to FPL Juice or someone else? Who should we raid? FPL Juice? FPL Air? Who should we raid, guys? FPL Tom. Alright, let me find him. Yeah, let's go over to FPL Tom. He's got 7 tuning right now. So let's go show him some love. He's got 7 tuning, so let's get that to well over 100. I'm going to head over to his stream as well. He's a nice guy, Tom. He makes good content. So everyone head over there. Spam Focal Raid in his chat. Send him some love from the FPL Focal channel. And show him some support, like his stream. I'll see you over at FPL Tom's channel. And that's it from me. Focal out.